So, hello everybody. Firstly, thank you to Raghu. We're extremely excited to be part of this event. Congratulations to all of you. And it really makes us so proud to see that there are so many registrations from India, 350 and yet counting. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Reena Gami from Travel and Beyond Private Limited, and we've been in the industry of hospitality since the past 17 years and plus. Sports support is our vertical, which combines the hospitality with sport. At this point, I'd like to introduce to you Jwal Gami. He's completed his master's degree in sports management from Loughborough University, and he is going to be a part of this project. We as a team are here to support you in this challenge of PBP, and so that we can take care of all your requirements while you can concentrate on your ride and its preparations because we know what it takes, right? I also believe that the event can bring so much more value if we should approach it as an Indian contingent. There are a few countries who did this in the past and their synergies were quite eminent. Raghu, thanks to give us all the information that was required to be able to design this and work out this in such a way, and a lot of other members as well who have given their very, very valuable inputs. So first, let me have Jwal introduce you to the package. Jwal, can you take it up from here?
Yes, I'll take over from here. So, basically, our aim, we want to bring this package to you, to make this ride as smooth as possible for you, so that basically, you can concentrate on your ride and you don't have to worry about other things. So I'll just go through the basic highlights and features of the package. The package runs from 16 to 26th August. These are the dates that were suggested by Audax India. Um, yeah, can we go back to the last slide, please, Raghu? Or yeah, thank you so much. Um, the package runs from 16 to 26th August. It will include your accommodation throughout the journey. That is 10 days of 10 days of your accommodation. This includes breakfast with vegetarian options. Um, and it includes your transfer from to and from Charles de Gaulle Airport, Paris, that is CDG Airport. The transfers, of course, includes the transport of your cycle boxes as well. So you need not worry about that as well. Um, the accommodation will be with you throughout the 10 days. So in case there is any emergency or anything you need to use your room, you can do that. You can store your luggage at your room. So that will be convenient, basically, just for the sake of convenience. Um, and so what we want to do is we want to give everyone, all the participants from India, an opportunity to travel together, so that you are in and around people who are part of the event. You have support from everybody. You can be there as a team, help each other, and support each other through the event. Um, in case there is anybody who is planning to travel on different dates, say you want to extend your visit to France, or you are planning different dates, say for example 15 to 25th August, you can let us know and we'll be happy to work something out for you. And lastly, a list of everyone who registers will go to the France consulate, letting them know that you are traveling to France for the PBP event specifically. So this doesn't guarantee any visa. It doesn't guarantee that you will get the visa, but it might help. So yeah. And please note that we have limited availability. So reservations will be on a first come first basis. Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah, so inclusions. These are scheduled airport transfers from CDG airport to your respective hotels. I'll talk to you about that in detail in the next slide. It includes accommodation with breakfast for 10 nights. We have vegetarian options. In case there are any other dietary requirements, let us know. We can work something out for sure. So you can contact us if you have anything related to that as well. Um, there's one thing that is excluded in the package, that is local taxes. So there's something called city tax, which is approximately 1 or 2 euros per person per day, and you will be liable to pay that directly to your hotel. So that is something you will have to take care of. Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah, so the airport transfers are scheduled airport transfers. So we've done it in such a way that there'll be up to 3 transfers per on the 26th. We don't have that. We have not given the times out yet, because that will be according to your flight timings, the flight timings that we receive from participants. So basically, there'll be 3 different times, and you will be able to choose whichever time is most convenient to you. These coaches will depart from CDG Airport, Paris, and they will travel to all the hotels on the train route that are there in the package. So they'll drop off guests of one hotel and then move on to the next one. So you can opt to choose any of the 3 timings. This will of course include the transport of your cycle box as discussed earlier. Um, yeah, so yeah, can we have the next slide? Yeah, so from here on, Reena Gami will take over, and she'll run you through the accommodation options and give you a few details of the package. Um,
Hello. So here are the details of the accommodation that you have. So we've picked up 3 accommodations. The most important thing, according to us, is the access to the event start point. You're going to have to go there a couple of times, and we want to make that as simple as possible. Uh, so the first is Mercure Versailles Chateau, and that is located roughly 1 kilometer from Versailles Chantier station. And there are regular trains that go to Rambouillet every 40 minutes odd. So that is one option. The second, and I think this is one of the most convenient options, is Ibis Budget Saint Quentin. And this is located just about 30-minute train journey to Rambouillet. And the hotel is about a kilometer to the train station. In fact, we've also recognized a few Indian restaurants in the nearby vicinity, one that is just a kilometer away. But of course, we are yet to contact them and sort of get that touched as well, so that there is some convenience for those who require, have those dietary requirements. And then there is this apart city comfort Versailles. This is a little far away in the sense it is roughly a 4 kilometer cycle ride. But the thing about this is that it has a kitchenette, so just in case. It's probably not the best considering the distance, but it yet does also have bus connectivity. Okay, so just in case that is a preference for somebody. So now coming towards, can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, so coming towards the package pricing. So the inclusions, I think Jwal has clearly mentioned. So this is total per person for the entire stay and inclusions that have been mentioned before this. We are giving you options of double and single occupancy. For double occupancy, you could be sharing with somebody you know, or if you don't have somebody that you want to share with, we will be allocating you a room buddy. Single occupancy, of course, you get it for yourself. So for Mercure Versailles, that is category 1, it's 1135 euro per person for the entire package. And if it's single occupancy, 1890. For IBIS budget, it would be 775 and 1250 if you're on single occupancy. And for the apart city comfort, it is 695 and 1135 on single and double occupancy. Okay, I think the inclusions have been well taken care of. In terms of exclusions, apart from city tax, there is a India GST element that needs to be added on, which is 5%. And there is a TCS. I'm not sure whether everybody knows about it, but it's an additional 5% that we need to collect. It's not a cost to you, but that will go as an advanced TCS, advanced tax for you. It'll be like an income tax advance payment. So that's about the pricing. Next slide, please. Okay, so just to ensure that we are making it most convenient for everybody, and to ensure that the process goes in smoothly and everybody gets all the flexibility they want in their reservations, we have laid out a booking process. Okay, so everyone who needs to participate or even consider participating in this package first needs to register. There is a link at the end of this presentation, and you can register through that. There is some basic information that needs to be put in, and of course your passport and PAN card copies. This, I mean, just because you're registering does not mean that you're going to be guaranteed an allocation. That is because we are working on a limited number of rooms, and we will be allocating offline. Okay, now you have an option of sharing room. Okay, you can decide who you want to partner with, or if you want to travel in a group. So you say you have 4 people or 6 people who want to travel together, and you want to ensure that you're staying in the same hotel. All of you individually need to register, and then you can send us a group and a rooming request within 3 days of your registration. So please time it accordingly. There is an email address that has been mentioned. Please ensure to send this on this email address within 3 days of registration. So we are not actually going to touch your registration for a minimum of 3 days, except if there is any feedback such as your passport is expiring or something like that. And if that comes to a notice, we will be updating you on that. The participants will receive, after that, we will get into the process of allocation. Hence, after the group requests, we will then work out your allocation. And within a few days, you should get an allocation email from us. This will include all the details you need in terms of your reservation, your terms, conditions, cancellation policy, when and how you have to pay, all of that. All of that will come to you in a mail. Based on that, being well aware of the entire package and all its details, you can accept it. So you get back to us with a mail accepting it, and we will have let you know the date by which the deposit will be required, and you can go ahead and pay the deposit. The amount, the payments are going to be in INR, okay, not in euro. So you would have to make the payment via credit card, bank transfers. We're going to give you all the options for the payments, right? So it could be UPI, credit card, bank transfer, all of that. And that will be shared to you. So the amount in INR will be shared to you a couple of days before the payment date. Okay, in terms of this, at any point of time during the entire booking process, should there be any queries, any special requests, any concerns, please put it through to the email address, but kindly ensure that you've made a registration before that, so that we know what is your requirement, and we understand your entire requirement correctly. The next slide, please. So I'm just going to quickly run through this. You can actually go into the details later yourself, because not everything is going to be applicable to everybody. So there are limited number of rooms. There is also a minimum number of rooms that we require to fill to be able to enable this, and I'm hoping that that is not done. In case that we are not able to reach that number, there might be a marginal increase in the pricing. We are hoping that that doesn't happen, however. So yes, you will have to take care of the registration, the timely deposits, and the cancellations are also going to be very, very clearly mentioned to you. There are check-in, check-out times that are also given of each of the hotels, so that you're aware of that. And I mean, I know that most people prefer, on such events, prefer twin-bedded rooms, but well, we are not going to be able to guarantee that, because in a group request, there's always a combination that we get. So yes, so that is going to be the same. I think that more or less takes care of everything. Of course, you know that you have the flexibility of different dates, of rooming, and all of that. So please connect with us should you have any questions at all. The next slide. So there, I think I request you all to take a look at the next 2-3 slides, because this doesn't concern everyone. I don't want to waste so much time to trouble anybody. Yeah, and waste anybody's time. So the last slide here. Brings you to the registration. Register here is the link. The next slide, please, Gurjan. Yeah, register here is where the link is, and it takes you to the form which you need to fill out. There are these contact numbers and email address which you can call anytime. The contact number, since I'm traveling currently, might not be, it's not with me right now, but you can, I request you to first send in an email for the time being. We will connect with you upfront. Kindly ensure to drop your mobile number and any convenient timing should you prefer talking, and we will ensure that you have a call back for this. We are here for any support, any information that you need. And if there are any questions, we can take them up right now as well. And of course, all the best. I really thank and appreciate the amount of effort that Audax India is taking to ensure that you know, this becomes a successful event for all the Indian participants. And I wish everybody all the very best for this.
Should I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
There is mention of total 3 number of transfers from Charles de Gaulle to the respective accommodation locations. So
That's
are these going to be on 16th of August itself, or based on the applicant's details, like when the travel dates and the flight timings, you will communicate to the registered riders? How is it going to happen?
Yeah. So I'll just explain very frankly. As of now, we've considered 16th August. You see, we have to work out the viability of various transfers. The reason we have not given specifics is that our intention is to be able to support and be able to provide enough transfers for everybody. And that's why we're going to take it up in terms of details and exact timings and dates once we have more applications coming in. Okay, I know that gives a little bit of a open-endedness while you are going ahead and approaching for this, but trust me, it's going to be our effort to ensure that everybody is able to make the most out of this package. Of course, we are not going to be able to satisfy everybody. I know about that as well, but I think that comes along with this thing, and it's just the limitation that we are facing. But we are just going to do our best to ensure that we have as many transfers and to be able to have comfort for maximum number of people. Actually, the more registrations we have, we are going to be able to provide more flexibility in terms of dates, having added in a few more transfers, all of that as well. But it really depends upon the number of applications that we are getting through. I hope that takes care of your question.
I think so. Any more questions from anyone? Please click on raise hand and I will unmute you. Okay, what we will do is we'll keep this open for the next 10 minutes. If anybody comes up with a question, Reena is here to answer it.
So just while we are waiting, I'll just give you a little more update. We are right now also working on the baggage drop package, which will help you to pick up the luggage, drop at the control points for support during the ride. We are also working on the visa support. It's not like a proper visa support, but we are going to be able to give the list, as Joel mentioned, to the consulate, so that the consulate is well aware that these participants are going in for PBP. There is also one other little element that we are going to work on to ensure maybe a little bit of support and help. So if there are certain number of people in certain cities, say just as an example, in Delhi, there are 20 registrations, and these 20 would like to get their appointments and are not able to find it, or they would like to have it all together. You can just we are working towards working out a group request like that. You can send us the details and we will send it to the consulate, and they will get back to us with special slots for group visa timings. So this is an additional little benefit that can be brought in. There is also a little bit of something that we are working with Tourism France. Within this group, if there are any influencers, because you are all sport persons, and if you have a good number of followers, you can just contact us. We can help you with some additional benefits. I'm not going to tell you exactly what and how, because it's a little open-ended, but we can help you get the benefits that you probably would be able to bring to yourself. That would be an individual thing. It's not for the entire group. It will be for specific influencers, if there are any in this group. So these are just a little few additional add-ons. Any other questions for anybody? Please feel free. And that doesn't mean that it's only during this. You can just get back to us at any time.
Question, just hold on. Someone has a question. I'll unmute them. Anybody who has a question, please click on the raise hand option so I know you need to speak. Yes.
Joel, can you please cover the package inclusions once more? I think a couple of people are having a bit of a confusion on that.
Yeah, well, I've just put my question on the chat actually.
Okay. Please share the contact details.
9422. Mine?
No.
Here it is.
Someone has asked in chat for the contact.
I just put it on screen.
Can you please, Raghu, can you unmute Jwal, please?
Sure. Try Jwal. He's done.
Hello. So yeah, what was the confusion again? Sorry.
Can you go over the package inclusions once more? Someone
Okay.
posted in the group chat about what all is included.
Of course. So basically,
Wasn't
what
the relevant slide
Yeah.
on package inclusions? Yes, thank you. This slide and the next one.
so yeah. So basically, what is included is the scheduled airport transfers. So as mentioned, there will be 3 transfers. Now, someone asked about the transfers as well. So the thing with the transfers is once we start getting details of people who are traveling, we have kept it open-ended basically so that we can make it convenient for people. So if say for example we are getting a lot of flights that are say at say from 1 to 5, we can have transfers from just from 3 to 7 at 3 different timings, so people don't have to wait. So that is the basic idea behind that. Now once more participants start coming in and they have different travel dates, we can try to accommodate that as well. Or if for example people are planning that only a few people are traveling on the 16th, and we can accommodate that into 2 coaches, for example, we can have one more transfer on the 15th, depending on the flight details. So we once you book your flights, if you've registered, if you are planning to register with us, please share your flight details so that we can make it convenient for all of you and plan the transfers in such a way. So that is about the scheduled airport transfers. Then coming back to the inclusions, it includes your transfers to and from CDG airport to your hotels, along with your cycle box. It includes accommodation with breakfast for 10 nights. Breakfast, as mentioned, you'll have vegetarian options, other dietary requirements. We are happy to work something out for you as well. The exclusions are local tax, which is 1 or 2 euros per person per day, which would directly be payable to the hotel. Now I think I've read the question about visa assistance. That is something technical that Reena Gami handles for us. So I think she'll be able to answer that question better.
And the question also says,
Hello.
does this include airfare or not? Please clarify that too.
No, this doesn't include airfare. We are not dealing with the airfare. We request you to make your own arrangements with your flight travel. And let us know what is your basic plan with your flights. So let us know the details of your flights. So this doesn't include airfare.
There is one more question for transport facilities at the airport. Whom do we contact? Well, we are not going to provide only transport facilities. It's going to be a part of the package only. And once you are registered and once you are allocated, we will of course be sharing you some guide details so that you have somebody to contact the moment you land into Paris. With regards to the visa, which Jwal was mentioning, so visa, we are not going to help. First of all, the visa is not included. Okay. The second thing is the visa assistance it's not even like an assistance. It is only an additional benefit that we are giving to the persons who have registered. If you need visa assistance, that becomes an entire different thing. So visa assistance is not included. The visa, the little benefit of being able to have your name in the list that goes to the consulate, that is what we are going to give to all the participants as an additional benefit.
Okay, I have one more query regarding the since you're working on those drop back facilities.
Right.
So will it be part of the package, or you're going to also give an option of maybe the specific charges towards that drop back facility? It's like part of the package, and okay,
Yeah,
if
no. The drawback is totally a different thing, and that's
okay,
going to be coming up separately.
okay, thanks.
Yeah, we yet are working on it. There are a few technical issues, and yeah, we will come back to you with it. I think Raghu will sort of update you once we are a little more towards that. We were concentrating on this because there is very low availability in the hotels, and we do not want to miss out on this and have issues in terms of the availability. So our concentration as of now was on the accommodation, because that's a priority. I can also see that there is a comment on or asking when we should book the flight tickets. I think flights are dynamic in nature. I would tell everybody to book it as soon as you can. Take a look at your cancellation policy and just go ahead and do it. Both flights and visas. I think visas you can start applying for 6 months prior to your travel. So I think you all are good to start going for that as well. And once you have your accommodation, you will require your flight tickets, and you will require your accommodation confirmation to be able to go in for your visas. Okay, also there is one more other question: transfer to and from the hotel to the event location. No, that is going to be done everyone on their own, but there is a train that runs from all these locations, as I have mentioned, to Rambouillet, which is the starting point of the event. So I think being
address
together
that
in a group.
aspect. I'm sorry, Reena, to cut you off. I can address that aspect since I went to PBP in 2019. What happens is over there, local administration runs special trains on the start day and 1 day prior to PBP. Specifically, they ensure there are trains every hour going into Rambouillet. So those details will come a bit later, but basically everybody just hops on the train from their nearest train station, and they head to Rambouillet. It's a very simple and most efficient way to get to the start point.
And you can take your cycles along with you in the train.
You can carry the cycle in the train.
Okay.
There are a few more questions in the chat window.
Yeah. So by when are we expected to share the hotel booking confirmation? Ashish ji, I think it is good to book early. There are multiple reasons for that. Number one, there are limited amount of rooms that we have on the package. The second thing is, the earlier we are, the more organized we can be, and we can go in for timely visa processing. There are very huge issues of visa appointments ongoing right now for all European countries, and that's why we feel it's just good to get it done early. How are the dining facilities at the accommodation? Is Indian cuisine available? So, as I mentioned to you, well, for breakfast that is included will have something vegetarian for you. So that will take care of the breakfast. In terms of the Indian cuisine, we have already recognized some Indian restaurants in the nearby vicinity. We are intending to go ahead and communicate with them so that they are prepared for people to be able to dine there. Let's see. I mean, this is a little open-ended. I'm not giving you any commitments well, we can even look for pre-booking those restaurants. We also have a few options where we can have Indian meal boxes delivered to the hotels, but we need to have enough numbers for that. So I think once the registration is through, we can create groups and try and find out what we can do best for everybody. There are 3 items related to tax. Okay, so I'll just quickly give you that. One is a city tax. Yeah, so somebody has just asked that there are 3 items related to tax, and are these additional to the prices given? So I'll just explain to you, because it's just not as simple as that. The city tax is €1 or €2 per person per day, and that is generally collected locally by the hotel only. So that amount you would have to pay there at the hotel. There is a 5% GST. So that's the GST element. The third tax is called TCS. Now, TCS is actually not a cost to you. It is an additional amount that you have to pay us, and we will be paying it as your advance income tax. So you may note that it's not a cost. However, there will be an outflow of funds of up to that additional 5%, which you will get back to you in your income tax credit in the 26 AS. Okay.
Just one more query.
Yes.
Yeah, since we're going to have those accommodations for 10 days, I'm just, would it be worthwhile at your end to optimize the cost? Okay, let me explain what I exactly mean to say.
Correct.
Suppose in a facility or the hotel which we are, suppose the category 1 hotel, suppose we are booking 10 rooms.
Correct.
During the event, when the riders are riding the event, so can those 10 rooms be, made to 3 rooms, and maybe we can keep all the, stuff in all those 3 rooms. And after the event, maybe we can again have those 10 rooms back, something like that. Because those.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. And I know that would be something that, and it's not that we have not looked into this. We have toiled that idea. We have considered it. The problem is, there are a few points that I'd like to raise. I think Raghu might be the best person for this, but I'm just going to quickly give an introduction, and then Raghu can take over on this question. The thing is, in terms of accommodation, moving the luggage from room to room, people coming at different times, damaging other people's property, safety, security, who comes out of the race at which point of time. Not everyone completes the race. I think that everybody is aware of. So I think this is that. Based on this, we, after doing a lot of debate, we came to a point that in spite of the fact that this will increase the cost by a little bit, it'll just be more viable to be able to keep the rooms for throughout the stay. Raghu, do you have any comments on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it quite well. It's a coordination nightmare. If it were just down to 10 rooms, as per the illustration explained by the gentleman, then that's different. Okay, 10 rooms, reducing it to 3 rooms. But now here we are speaking of hundreds of riders. It's a lot more than 10 rooms. And it is an administrative nightmare if you are expecting me to go room to room to make sure everybody checks out on time and moves their luggage to those designated 10 rooms to reduce it from 100 rooms and optimize that stay and all. It's a tall ask, and it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be quite a lot of work, not something I'm looking to take up, right? Not for a group this size. And from my own personal experience from 2019, because I did this, precisely what is being suggested, I tell you, at the end of it, I was like, it would have been much more worth it if I had just kept the room, because it was so, hectic to have to pack up every single thing to minimize my footprint. I had to move my luggage into my empty bike box because the bicycle was out of the bike box. So, you know, when I put my bags into storage, there is minimum footprint. I get charged minimum, and moving it out. Then once I come back from the ride, recovering the bag and moving into a fresh room. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, and I felt that was a lot of headache I could have done without, so that I could have just focused on the ride. Yeah. So I know a lot of people are looking to do it that way. And I'm telling you from my personal experience, I did it that way in 2019. And I'd much rather just have my own room ready, so that whenever I need to get back at whatever time, I don't have to coordinate with anybody to get my stuff, to get access to my own room, because I'm already checked in. I already have the access key to that room. Okay, so if you bring it down to just 3-4 rooms, who is going to have the access card to that? Imagine the coordination nightmare. You will call 300-350 Indians who are, some of whom may still be riding PBP, just because you quit and you want to go back and you want to have access to your bag. You will start calling everybody, posting on the group chat, who has the key to this room? I want my bag now. So it's not realistic if you want to go as a big group and stay as a big group, right? So the benefits of going as a group, staying as a group, I don't think I need to stress on that. But some of the downsides of going as a big group, one of them is this aspect. And the other, of course, you would have already seen, cost is a little bit on the higher side. Again, to comment on that aspect before anybody even, I mean, I'm sure many of you are having that thought process, since this issue came up from the point of view of cost. Is it's just like any other, for example, flight booking. Now the marketing will always be that, oh, fly from Mumbai to Delhi in 1,500 rupees. The thing is, every single seat on the flight is not being sold at that rate. Okay. Even now, many people have smartly bought their ticket to France on Air India for 16th August in advance, and they managed to buy it in 50,000. Okay. Everybody else on average will end up paying 75,000 round trip. Okay. Over here, we are doing this group booking. So what will happen in this is everyone will get averaged out to this amount. It will not be like one person pays 1,500 rupees for the flight ticket. The last person who books his seat, the last seat is being sold for 10,000 rupees. Okay. So that's why it is being averaged out. And what is happening is, right now you are looking at alternative online booking sites, and they may be appearing cheaper, but that's the thing. That is just 1 or 2 rooms being sold at that rate. Moment you try to go and book 10 rooms, you are not going to get that rate. I hope I've clarified well enough on this aspect. Thank you. Next question may please be attended.
Reena?
Okay, there is a question on visa. So see, for visa application, as I understand from memory also, visa application requires your hotel bookings for the entire duration, number one. Okay. Number two, some of you are first time applicants for Schengen area. You will need to wait for probably the organizer, in this case being ACP, to issue a invitation letter. frequent travelers to Europe, most likely, I mean, if you apply now and with this hotel accommodation details, you might even get the visa, no worries, right? But first time applicants, please don't get carried away by what the other frequent travelers are advising you. You know, it's better to maximize your chances of securing your visa, which would include waiting for a bit more time for the invitation letters to come in from ACP. ACP is not going to issue one letter at a time to each individual. They will wait for all the pre-registration windows to open and close, and then I can make a request for all the people who have applied from India, please send me one invitation letter, and they will send a consolidated invitation letter from the organizer's side. Others, frequent travelers, may choose to go, wait for the invitation letter, or you can proceed. I think a couple of people I spoke to, they are already business visa holders for Shenzhen area. Those are long-term visas with multiple visit entries. So you're fine anyway. I mean, this aspect doesn't affect you in any case.
Yeah, I think Raghu has given quite a bit of details, and yes, I'm sure all of you can even get some support from good visa consultants, and that is very strongly suggested as well, Prabhu said. What are the next questions, please?
Motor van, caravan, an option. Yeah, I mean, this query has come repeatedly, and I am not in favor of any kind of motor van going control point to support. This has been tried by some groups in the last edition, which was problematic, because 10 people book one caravan or mobile home to move CP to CP. The problem is there is too much of a gap between the first rider and the last rider. And some of the control points are as short as 55 kilometers apart. And as the event goes into the second day and the third day, the time gaps between the first rider and the 10th rider will be as big as 8 hours. Right. So by the time, the last rider accesses the caravan or motor home, the fastest rider has already crossed the next control point, and he needs supplies, and all his stuff is in the caravan. And there were disputes later on because some people were riding out of time. They wanted to finish PBP regardless, and they were demanding that, no, I have paid for this service, I want access to this, you have to give me. And the common friend for those 10 people who was in the caravan was trying to support the people who were still riding within time, and they had an opportunity to get homologated. So I can understand everybody's perspective here, and this is the kind of thing that is going to happen again. And I really don't want to get into that. Honestly, I'm not looking to coordinate this kind of an issue. And to be very, very blunt, this is a very well organized event. Okay. For 8,000 cyclists, they are going to have 3,000 volunteers across all these control points. And some of these control points are just 50 kilometers apart. So anything you need, you will get at the control point. There will be bike mechanics at the control point to assist you. You don't need to hire a caravan and put a spare chain and 10 spare tubes and 4 spare tires. You will get all these things at the control point. I see absolutely no reason for a caravan. Okay. In fact, I want to go to the further extent of telling you that don't overburden yourself also with too many things on your bike itself. That just because you don't have a caravan, now you will have to carry everything on your bike. No, you will get everything at the controls. Okay. You I mean, absolutely everything. You will get food. See, a lot of this anxiety is created, unfortunately, because there was a large failure percentage in the last edition. And rather than people coming back home and giving an honest feedback to everybody that, listen, I just did not train hard enough. There were a lot of challenges in this event that I did not foresee. Everybody ended up giving excuses. Oh, the food did not suit me. Oh, it was too cold in the nights. But listen, you're going for this event, and this event is in France. You are not going to get vada pav at the control point. You will get croissant. So you can't complain about that, right? You're going to France. I am telling you right now, it's going to be 5 to 6 degrees Celsius in the night. So you have to prep with technical clothing to help you ride through those cold nights. So I think a lot of people just came back and unnecessarily caused a lot of anxiety for now the next editions, aspirants, applicants. So try not to let that get to you too much in your head and mess you up. Just focus on your training. Don't worry that you need some kind of Formula One pit stop style support team, so you spend only 30 seconds at the control point. But if I ask you to go do a little bit of hill climb training, you will have 10 excuses for me. So don't get into that. Just make sure you train well. And I tell you, you don't need all this level of support. How will we come to know that invitation has been received to Audax India? Well, we will announce it. We will share it, right? And we'll see to email the invitation letter to all the riders. Any other question?
Yeah, I think we've missed one question. That is the package amount mentioned. It includes entire 10 days duration, pre-event, during event, and post-event for keeping luggage. Yes, the package includes your room from 16th to 26th August, where you can have your luggage stored safely. It will be purely your room, and if you're opting for double occupancy, your partner's room, which might be allocated if you don't have a preference. If you have a preference, you can get in touch with us. You can email us. As we've mentioned, you need to email the mobile number and all your details of yourself and your partners, or your grouping requests. So yes, the luggage will be safe in your room from 16 to 26th August. That is the 10-day duration of the package.
Any other questions?
There's a new question that's come in the chat, so if you want to take that up.
Have already booked flight for 14th. Will the dates be flexible for the package? Yes, as we have mentioned, Ashish ji, there is a flexibility that we have. Since you're 2 days prior to the standard package length, we are not able to promise you the transfer at within the same pricing. Maybe we can update you that later. We shall always try, but there might be an additional cost element for transfers based on your dates. But I'm not promising you that right now. I'm not commenting on that. Of course, your accommodation and all of that will be taken care of, but the rest we'll have to wait for others to register so that we know that how much we'll try to minimize additional charges for transfers, but we are not in a position to promise that, because we will be clubbing people along with each other.
So, sorry to interrupt. Speaking about transfers, the thing is, we'll have different people travel at different dates. Say there are two people traveling on 14th. Within the cost of the package, it will not be feasible for us to arrange individual transfers for two people or three people or four people, and we cannot have we cannot arrange for transfers for one person on a different date and then deny the transfer to someone else. So that is something that is very difficult for us to arrange individual transfers. But of course, if more registrations come in and say there are more people traveling on the 14th, then the 16th, for example, and we can accommodate, because 16th we've given the date. So 16th we have to accommodate everybody comfortably. But say, for example, we can do with two transfers on the 16th comfortably, we will arrange a different transfer on an alternate date, so that where there are more people traveling on that date, so that it is comfortable for everyone. But we cannot promise anything regarding other dates, because of the purely because of the costing part, that we cannot arrange transfers for everyone individually. Till how many Indians registered for PBP? I believe there are 350 odd. I'm not, yeah, so I think, yeah, Raghu has answered that question. I think, yeah, Reena can take over.
Yeah, for visas also, as Raghu's mentioned, I think it's best to hire a professional visa consultant. Uh, of course, these things will be required. The rest, it's better to have somebody look at your documents and advise accordingly.
Yeah, once again, first time travelers, please don't get carried away by people who are very frequent travelers and have a strong travel history, and they'll tell you this is not needed, that is not needed, and this has happened in the last edition also, where there were a spate of rejections because they went by friends' suggestions. And today the visa application process is so simple. Anybody can just go online, fill the form, upload the documents, pay the money online, and then just go to the VFS scheduled appointment date, that also you have scheduled it online through that process. Everything is fairly simple and straightforward, but in order to maximize your success rate, how you present your documents is very important. I'll just give one example, actual experience, what happened. One fellow rider who was applying for his visa, similar case, fresh passport, first time he's traveling out of India in his entire life, and on his third attempt, when he was wanted to try after first two rejections, I sat down with all his documents. There were some glaring mistakes, things like his cover letter, the travel dates were not matching with his flight ticket. Yeah. Then there were some other shortcomings, because his financial profile was quite weak. So, I had to advise certain things, additional things to him, like going to a CA and getting a net worth certificate issued, because the visa application checklist may have very simple, straightforward things like bank statements for the last 6 months. But if that is not presenting a good, strong financial profile, you need to consider providing a few extra things. Basically, you need to keep in mind that they want to see the fact that you can finance this trip yourself, or if somebody is sponsoring you, you need to provide all the documentation for that. And B, that you have strong ties in India and you will return upon completion of this trip. Okay. So that level of guidance and everybody's financial profile and travel history will differ. So don't get overconfident by talking to a couple of individuals and they'll say, oh, I've been to there so many times, I know what is the best way to do it, you do it like this. No, please don't do that. That has led to a lot of rejections in the past. Okay, and just go. If you are a first-time applicant, I have this very strong recommendation to you: go seek professional help, please. Okay.
Yeah, I second that as well. The thing is that everyone has a different profile, and every case is to be viewed separately. So having done so many visas in the past, we know that it's just better to go in for professional help for the visas.
Yeah, there is a question that is, do we have technical support for bikes prior to the day of start? And if yes, the location. So the start point, Rambouillet, it's, I mean, it gets set up almost a week before the actual flag off date. Okay. So there will also be a lot of stalls there by local bike shops, bike brands, things like that. It's a very festive atmosphere at the start point. So a lot of people have gone you in any case have to go 1 or 2 days prior to pick up your bibs kit. In the last edition, we had to also get our bike check done. Now in this edition, they have removed the bike check, but nevertheless, you need to go beforehand and collect your bib kit, right? They'll give you the bibs, they'll give you the reflective vest, they'll give you a bunch of other things, right? You have to collect all that from the start point. So you can just go with your bicycle a day or two before the flag off and collect your bibs. And if you need some thing, you notice some last minute issue with your bike, you can go get it fixed. I know one friend, she broke her rear hub the evening before. I mean, like Sunday we were flagging off, and on Saturday evening she broke her rear hub, and she just rushed back to the start point. She had already completed her bike check also, everything went through smoothly. And then I don't know, riding back to the train station or something, she broke her rear hub and she just went back. She bought a new wheel right there at the start point. There was one stall where they were selling wheels, and she was able to buy a brand new wheel, and her issue got resolved. And even apart from this, don't worry. I mean, I've for example, Dipender, I think from his 2015 attempt, I read his blog, and he broke a SPDSL pedal during the brevet. Okay, and he somehow managed to get to the next control point, and he bought a new set of pedals. So that is the extent of support that is there at not only start point, but at all the control points also. So don't get too anxious by a lot of these excuses that some of the riders may have given you for why they ended up quitting. That, okay, I had some technical fault in my bike, that's why I quit. I mean, there's plenty of technical support in this event. Don't worry at all. Okay. Next, I finished my SR December 2022, can eligible for registration PBP. Yeah, I mean, you need to watch the other video that I've put on YouTube on eligibility and all. please go to the PBP official website also and go click on rules. You'll be able to see who can pre-register. If you are not eligible for pre-registration, when will registration open? Okay, those specific dates are over there. We are trying to restrict this presentation more on the travel package, this thing. Do control point shops accept cards, or we need to carry cash? They all accepted card. I mean, at all control points, you know, I back in 2019, I carried a lot of cash, not just cash, but coins, you know, all change, so that if I need to spend €2 and don't have change, I might have a problem. But no, I mean, I could buy food with my card. At the very first control point, I remember my power meters coin cell battery, the CR2032 battery conked off, and I had to swap it out, and I just bought two, and I swapped out brand new batteries to both my power meter and my HR sensor, just so I don't have to struggle with that later on in the ride. And I was able to buy those batteries at the control point, and I swiped my card and it was fine.
Just to add to that, in Europe, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, Raghu, please correct me. I've not been to that to PBP in particular, but in Europe, a lot of places, it is more convenient, and some places only accept tap and pay. So if you, in case you are going to take a travel card, if it is a tap and pay card, it will be better. Though don't worry, it won't be a problem if it is not a tap and pay, a card that allows tap and pay, but it will be better. So that is what I would suggest to you. But it is not a compulsion for sure.
Yeah, I used a credit card in my trip in 2019. I had a 1 month long trip. It wasn't just France. I went to Italy, Germany, Austria. Nowhere did I do tap and pay. It was all chip, and there was no problem. I mean, it all works. It's fine. Only thing is, I remember my buddy who was traveling with me, he had a prepaid Forex card, and some of the places did not accept that. So I found that my MasterCard credit card was pretty much accepted at every single place. There was absolutely no problem. I did not come across a single situation where my card did not get accepted.
Perfect. Then I think you can just ignore what I said. I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
Yes, so that is an important point. Let your card bank know that you are traveling. So that is important to do.
Yes, Europe is prone to a lot of identity theft and credit card fraud. So, I mean, your bank might by default block your card if suddenly out of the blue there is a transaction in some remote village in France. That is the first transaction for which you end up swiping a particular card. Then obviously they will block it. So yeah, I mean, intimating your bank beforehand that you're traveling to France and these are your travel dates. They will note that in your profile so that the card does not get blocked during your travel. But I've noticed, at least I can't say for everyone else, I'm using a Citibank card and my app actually gives me access. And these days, everybody's app gives that access to disable international transaction, enable it. So like right now, it's disabled because obviously I'm in India, I'm not traveling. And when I'll be traveling abroad, I'll enable it. And the app itself also has a link where I can intimate precise travel dates and countries to which I am traveling. So it saves me the trouble of even having to call some 1-800 number and sit through 5-10 minutes of wait to speak to somebody. Is it better to have food in control points or some other restaurants outside so that we get out of CP quickly? I mean, it's personal choice. There are pros and cons to either of them. See, control points are anticipating to serve thousands of riders. So they will always have some food available. So you get in, you will get your food, you get out. You stop at some quaint little cafe somewhere along the way, which has a total seating capacity of 8 to 10 people, but and obviously they will, I mean, if many people have already gone through that place, it might be low on supplies, and obviously will not keep food ready to immediately serve. So if you sit down and order, you may find that you lose an hour through that. So it's really up to you. You have to move with the situation at hand. You have to be dynamic and willing to adapt to the situation, right? And also keep in mind, this is a very festive atmosphere across the entire route. You will literally be riding from outside people's homes as you pass through every single French village on this route, right? It's not like some standard national highway with only commercial outlets along the road. You will be going through country roads and from outside people's homes. And what ends up happening is a lot of these local residents, they know there is this big international event, and they'll set up a nice picnic table outside their home. They'll serve coffee and cakes, and the 3-4 times I stopped at various places. Some place I had a cup of coffee, one place I had a packet of biscuits, something or the other, just to keep me going. And they're very polite, very helpful, and without having to speak the language, they just help. They were there to just support the riders. So many places I stopped just to refill my water. It's not like I had to wait till to get to the control point. Once you get to the control point, of course, again, control point has been designed to service so many thousands of riders. So they had set up, literally a fresh pipeline full of some 20-30 taps. So I never lost any time, even in the line to refill water. There will be many control points with sleeping arrangements. So that was the next question. So yeah, I mean, when otherwise we're all randonneurs, we manage anywhere along the route. Yeah. If you go to the useful resources page on Audax India website, yeah, I'll share link to that also here in the chat. You can check it out later. You will see there is also one link to a photo blog on Strava for the PBP 2015 edition. If you just go through the photo blog and the captions given for those photos, it will really give you a fantastic sense of what this event is like, start to finish. Really, when I myself went through that blog, it just, 2-3 times, even recently, it just took me back to how it was even in 2019. So each edition, that's pretty much how it is. And, I strongly recommend you check out that photo blog on Strava.
I think we've taken care of most of the questions. Of course, as you know, we are all available for offline connect. So you can be free to connect.
Yeah, so just to add to this, uh, I've not been to PBP, but more I've been to other events in Europe. I've been to the Manchester. I've seen the Manchester Marathon, various other events. There are a lot of volunteers. You don't need to worry about anything. The atmosphere will be brilliant. I'm very sure of that. It will be a very, as Raghu mentioned, it will be a very festive atmosphere, and people really appreciate the efforts all the participants are putting in. So people will be very encouraging. People will be happy to help. Of course, there will be exceptions, but in general, do not worry at all. People will be very welcoming in that sense. So yeah, do not worry about that. And from our side, being a sports person myself, although I'm not a cyclist, it give it is it I feel very proud that there are 350 people who are going from India to such an event, such an event of a global scale. So irrespective of whether you book with us or you don't book with us, all the best, and we wish you all the success in your race. We hope that you can complete the objectives you've set for yourself, and yeah, you bring back a lot of experiences, and yeah, a lot of positive experiences. And yeah, thank you to Raghu. He's been a massive help in all of this. Along with Raghu, everyone else who has helped us from the Audax India team. So they've been a massive help in bringing this package to you. So yeah, a massive thank you to them.
Thank you, Reena. Thank you, Joel, for all your help and support, and clarifying a lot of the queries that people had. And I truly hope this package works out. And just a reminder, final exiting reminder for everybody, there is a register here link. We'll see to send out the link and communicate that as much as possible on all our social media platforms as well. Please make sure you fill that form so that the Travel and Beyond team has all your details, things like your travel dates and which package option you're looking to get. And then that's how this whole plan can really come together.
Just to remind,
The earlier you filled out that form, the better. So please don't procrastinate it any further. If you feel you've gotten enough information out of this session, please submit the form. Yeah. Thank you.
just as sorry to interrupt, just as a reminder, um, whoever has registered, if you guys do book your flights, please send us your details on the email given, so that we can work out the transfer plan in such a way that it is convenient to all of you. So please do not delay that. Please just, once you book your flight tickets, of course, take your time in evaluating your options and book according to your preferences, but let us know once you have booked your tickets.
Right, we'll call it a day. We're just about nearing our scheduled completion time. I'm glad we got the presentation through and got to answer a lot of the queries people had. Reminder to everyone, don't worry if you haven't managed to take a lot of notes here. We've been recording this session, so we'll do some minor edits and have it up on YouTube as soon as possible. And we'll share the links to that as well on our social media platforms. So make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram. You can get all our social media links also from the from the official website of Audax India. You go to audaxindia.in, click contact us. All our social media links are also available over there. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a good day.
Bye bye.